Can we talk about all the new cameras that have been coming out recently? So if you're anything like me, I've been looking at new cameras, and all of the cameras that have been coming out look incredibly awesome. From the Sony a7S III to the FX3, the R5, the R6, the EOS R, and then Blackmagic out of nowhere drops the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro, which has built-in NDs, a longer battery life. They changed the entire battery system and they made the entire camera body just feel more pro. What? I thought 2020 was the year for cameras, but now 2021 has shown up in force. So if you're a video creator that's growing and you may have happened to come into some cash recently, you're looking at cameras and like, there's so many options out there. Which one is the one for you? Well, I can't answer that for you, but I'm going to go through my thought process of how I am going through choosing a camera. So starting out, I'm a Canon shooter most of the time. I try to not be a Canon fanboy, but I've been shooting Canon ever since I sold my first DSLR, which was a Nikon that didn't even shoot video. So I've been on a Canon T4i, this Canon T4i right here, actually. This is the Canon T4i that I started with. In fact, I still shoot on it sometimes. When you added Magic Lantern to this thing, it can really do some super great things. And I was really looking forward to Magic Lantern coming out for the Canon 80D as well, so I picked an 80D up, hoping that Magic Lantern would release for the Canon 80D and unlock some of the things like raw video and other features. But honestly, the Canon 80D shoots well enough that you don't need Magic Lantern for it. And when it was released, it was the best autofocus on the market. Autofocus still is really good on the 80D. And in fact, if you're looking for a camera that's really a great camera and you don't want to spend the money to get a new camera, I would really look into getting a used Canon 80D because it's a cheaper camera now and it does a lot of really awesome stuff. You can do anything with this camera. Honestly, you can do anything with this camera. It shoots 1080p up to 60 frames per second. It doesn't do 4K, but up-reses to 4K very well when you're using all-eye. So when I first started seriously thinking about upgrading my camera, my first thought was to get a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K because it is an amazing camera. It shoots raw video up to 6K and does high frame rates at 4K and even higher frame rates at 1080p. Don't ask me what those are right now because there are a lot of frame rates that this thing can do. But then Blackmagic just released the 6K Pro, and so I was going to get that. It has a better body and it introduces neutral density filters built in. Plus, they changed the battery system so that it actually has a better battery life with a brighter screen. So I was just win, checking all the boxes off the list, and I was about to pull the trigger on this. But then I started thinking, autofocus has become a huge part of the way that I shoot. I'm used to this Canon 80D, which has dual pixel autofocus, so not having the ability to pull focus automatically when my camera's on a gimbal or just when I'm trying to film myself is kind of a game changer because now I have to shoot in a different way than I'm used to. So my next obvious choice was the a7S III or the FX3 from Sony. Those both have in-body stabilization plus autofocus, really great autofocus, and they have the ability to plug in professional audio with the use of the top handle, which is awesome. I'm a huge audio person, but there's two problems with that. Number one, I would have to build out an entire lens kit. I don't have any Sony lenses, so I would have to change entire camera system. So it's not just the body, we're talking about buying at least 3 lenses. So the cost to that adds up really quickly. Whether it's the Sony a7S III or the FX3 we're talking about spending thousands of dollars on lenses alone, and then thousands of dollars for the body as well. Moving on from there, now I'm looking at Canon cameras. The R5 and the R6 are great cameras. They're both full frames, just like the Sonys are. So that makes me have to switch lenses. Again, since the Canon 80D is a crop sensor camera, I would still have to change camera systems because now I'm looking at getting full frame glass to fit my full frame body, or else I'm not getting the full aspect of that camera. I know that the Canons have crop mode, but I believe you're going to be cutting some of the features out with that camera. The main one being that this is a full frame camera and you're not getting that full sensor, which is what you pay for with that camera. And I know that having the crop mode option is a great way to get into the camera without having to put so much money in it up front and then buy your lenses out in the future, which is what I was kind of planning on doing. But then I realized something. I'm actually still sacrificing if I got the R5, R6, or even the EOS R. Neutral density filters. Having built-in ND filters, it's not necessarily like a game changer because you can get neutral density filters to fit on the lens itself, like the Polar Pros, or I've actually made some videos about some cheaper ND filters that you can get. I still use these all the time. They're great. But having to put them on and take them off all the time, it's just it seems so convenient to just be able to press a button and your neutral density filter comes on and your neutral density filter can go off when you go inside. It just seems like the best option. So what now? I know that there's other options out there, but they're more expensive. I wanted to get the best bang for my buck when I made my purchase decision. I want you to tell me, what would you do in my situation? Given all the options that are out there, which camera would you choose? Let me know in the comment section, and spoiler alert, I've already chosen my camera, so you can put in the comments what camera you're gonna get, but you're not gonna be affecting my decision because I've already purchased it and it's on the way. So what camera did I get? That's for another video. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I make videos like this where I talk about camera gear, I do gear reviews, and teach you how to make better videos. See you in the next one.